What's going on, guys? Lucas Rex here, coming at you guys with something a little different today. I'm doing my Dragon Ball Z deck profile. I'm playing Piccolo and Namekian currently. This deck's really fun. I've had a lot of fun playing with it, and we're going to get straight into the profile. So my mastery is Namekian. If you don't know what Namekian does, pretty much whenever I shuffle or rejuvenate cards into my life deck, I gain an anger. It's only during combat. But also, whenever a Dragon Ball enters play, on either side, your opponent mills a card. And also, if I control one Dragon Ball, they can't capture it by critical damage effect. Critical damage effect is any time they have a card that says use a critical damage effect, or if I do like 5 or more life cards of damage to them. So this mastery is really fun. It really lets you turbo into anger really fast, and anger lets you level. So Namekian's pretty ideal with Piccolo. I don't like blue Piccolo personally, but that's just me. So his level 1 is pretty solid for the most part. It gets you an anger almost every single combat, so it's really good, and it's always 3 life cards, so it's pretty solid. You want to get to level 2 as fast as possible, though, because his level 2 says discard a card, rejuvenate 2 cards, and your opponent destroys the top 2 cards of their life deck. So if I discard a styled card, which would be a Namekian card, I'm allowed to draw a card and use a critical damage effect. So critical damage effect lets me destroy an ally, dock them in anger, or take a Dragon Ball. So it's pretty good for the most part. Like, this is probably the level you want to stay on, but if you're turboing, if you're actually trying to go for like MPPV, then you're going to get past this really fast. But this is the level that you are ideal on, and this is where you can control the game state for the most part the best. His level 3 is kind of lackluster. It's really good, though, for the most part. It makes all your attacks pretty much do critical damage. Like, all your attacks do at least 3. So being able to do 2 extra life cards is really strong, unless they endure, and that's just a problem within itself. But if you use a critical damage effect while you have level 3 out, you just play a Dragon Ball from your life deck. You don't get the effect because it says place it into play, but it's still really strong, and they will still mill a card. And his level 4 is just really good within itself. Like, they have to crit you with 7 cards, and he has an energy talk costing 2 stages, does 7 life cards, which is incredible. Hit is Rejuvenate X, which hit effects aren't too relevant unless they just don't have anything, but hit Rejuvenate X, and X is the number of balls in play. So this is really good, and it also will gain you an anger whenever you hit with it for the most part. So Piccolo's level 4 is really strong, and as soon as you get to this, you should be winning. Okay, so on to the actual deck. We play triple weighted clothing to turbo into your anger. This is one of your main power plays in the deck. You banish it to get 2 anger, and you can use this when entering combat to take the first action. So if you have this and they enter, you can take the first action, do something like confrontation, and rip a card out of their hand or something like that. So it's a really strong card. I wouldn't cut this down at all. So we also play 3 Piccolo Special Beam Cannon. This card's incredible because it allows you, if it does hit, it gains you an anger automatically. If it does hit, you're actually able to name 2 cards out of your opponent's life deck other than Dragon Balls and rip them from their deck as long as they have them. You search their deck too, so it gives you a good scout on their deck for the most part. So like you hit something like Time as a Warrior's Tool or anything like that, it's really good. Then we play, for the Namekian energy combats, we play 3 palm shots, just really solid, good damage, you know, it gives you Dragon Ball control for the most part. It's really good. We play 3 targeted strike because this card's insane. If you have Dragon Ball out, you can do a lot of crazy stuff with this as long as it hits. It's just really good for the most part. 3 palm shots, or no, 3 double strike, I'm sorry. This card is kind of a pseudo out to wall breaker as long as they don't endure it, but for the most part, this is a really good card. It has endurance 1 also, so it's really strong, and it's all around a solid card. For the blocks, we're playing 3 of the hybrid defense because you want to be able to block everything at all times. 3 of the energy guard because you want to be able to block as many energy attacks as you can, and these also rejuvenate cards, so you're gaining anger throughout all of this for the most part. That's it for the energy blocks. We're playing 2 of this physical combat, just rejuve 2 for the most part, so it's going to get you 2 anger if you hit it with it. This one's really strong. I play 3 of this because it gives you 3 anger if you have a ball in play. So even if it doesn't hit, you're able to shuffle a ball back, which gets you 1 anger initially, and if you do that, you get 2 more anger because of the card itself. It also has endurance too, so it's a really strong card for the most part. This card I like a lot because if you have some cards that specify rejuvenation, so you can target this card in your discard pile, rejuvenate it, and you'll gain 2 anger because if it's rejuvenated, you gain 1 anger. Yeah, you'll gain 2 anger because it rejuvenates, gives you 1 anger, then this gives you another anger, so it's 2 anger. So it's pretty good. Flinch, really strong. I only play 1 ally in the deck, but it's another block, and if it's rejuvenated, I get to pull an ally back from my graves to the field at 3 above 0. So it is really strong. For tech choices, I play 1 Namekian Patient block. This card is really strong because it allows you to, if you control 2, pretty much, like, most of the time you'll have 2 Dragon Balls out, and you can bounce 1 back if you don't want them to steal 1 of them. So if you have 1, they can't crit it and take it. So it's really good. And then 1 Namekian Hurry Quest. This card is really good just with ball control for the most part. It does a lot of work. I don't see it often, but whenever I do, it's pretty game-changing. So for more events, we're playing 3 Namekian Overtime. This card is incredible. The more balls you have, the better this card gets, but for the most part, it's a Rejuve 1, if anything, so you're going to gain anger off this, and it's just really strong. It also searches an energy combat from your deck to your hand, so it just gives you a lot of advantage. 1 Namekian Wish. The really cool combo you can do with this is if you don't want to enter combat, or if you don't want them to enter combat on you, if you have weighted clothing, you can use this while this is out. So you go weighted clothing, and you sack this and end the combat, and just destroy whatever hand they had. So it's really good. This is a really good card, Namekian Disturbance, to get more Dragon Balls out. It's search your deck for a Namek Dragon Ball with a number that is equal to or lower than your level currently. So it's usually going to get you ball 1, which is really strong because you don't want them capturing your stuff, and ball 1 actually gives you +1 life cards of damage, but this card's really good for the most part. And then 1 Namekian Dragon Clan, because this card is just incredible. If you're at level 4, you search for 2 Dragon Balls. If you're at level 1, you can search for 1 Dragon Ball. Simple as that. And then for the last 3 setups, for the last 3 style setups, we played Namekian Growth. It allows you to play a Dragon Ball from your hand during combat. It also allows you to rejuvenate 4 if you'd like to, which also gains you an anger. And if my MP is level 3 or higher, it lets you search for a style card and put it in your hand. So it's really strong for the most part. It's a really solid card. It's pretty busted. I wouldn't cut this down lower than 3. And for the 1 ally, we play 1 Kami to keep our deck going. You know, it's Namekian. We want to keep rejuvenating. We keep going, and if it dies, you get a Dragon Ball. So I mean, this deck has all 3 win conditions. It's really strong. So play all 7 Dragon Balls. Would not change these at all. These are all really solid. And to accompany the 7 Dragon Balls, we play 1 Radar, because Radar's a pseudo Dragon Ball for the most part. So we have 3 for like the non-named cards for the most part, the non-styled cards. We play 3 Focus Assault. This is really just for Wallbreaker, because Wallbreaker literally shuts this deck down because it's not blue. Wallbreaker pretty much stops you from gaining anger and rejuvenating and all that stupid stuff. So like it just slows you down completely. This card literally just removes Wallbreaker. That's the only reason we play it. And it does 7 damage if you get rid of Wallbreaker. It's really strong. So for stables, we're definitely playing 2 Visiting the Past. Why not play this? They enter on you and you have this out. You just get whatever you want and pretty much win from that point. 1 Timeless Warrior's Tool, because what deck is complete without this card? Blocks anything, stops all attacks for the rest of the turn. It's limit 1 per deck though. And then finally, 3 Confrontation. This card is stare down for heroes pretty much, except it shuffles back into the deck. This card's incredible. There's a lot of times where I'll go Weighted Clothing whenever they enter combat and use this and stop whatever their strategy was for the most part. And it's just a really strong card in general. Like, I can't think of any deck that wouldn't play 3 of this or 3 stare down, depending on if it's a hero or villain for the most part. But yeah, guys, that was my deck profile. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want more DBZ content, just let me know. I've been playing this game a lot. I have a lot of fun with it. And yeah, this is Luchasaurus Rex signing out.